Man, just had a great conversation with a buddy of mine, who's he's given a task to write a screenplay based on a book. Congratulations on that. And just kind of the subject matter is interesting. It's about like a guy who was married to a narcissist. And what's crazy about that is like, again, it's the word that's being thrown around. It's the word of the year, of the zeitgeist of the decade or whatever. Similar to like communism or communist was thrown around during like what the 1950s and 60s and all that. So I think uh, narcissism is the new word. But in getting into the conversation about like what was going on, it kind of made me think about one of my my previous relationship, my past one, where you know this guy was saying that he and his ex or his estranged wife at the time, they would have like great conversations in terms of him thinking like she had him thinking that they were possibly going to get back together and everything. Meanwhile, she's eroding his reputation. She's doing things like talking with a divorce lawyer behind his back and all this stuff. Um, but she's leading him on to think that everything's okay, and that's actually what my ex did to me. I was just thinking about that. Like, I had no interest. Like once we broke up, I had zero interest in getting back with this person. But what I did want to do was make sure that we were on amicable speaking terms for the benefit of our child that we have together. And and so everything seemed to be going okay. Um, on the phone or whatever. Sometimes, but there were times when we definitely did argue. Communication fell apart because either she was feeling some kind of way or I was feeling some kind of way, and it was like oil and water, sometimes. But what's interesting is like on there were some occasions where we had great conversations on the phone. Like we laughed and everything, joked, all of that, and everything seemed cool. And then all of a sudden, you get someone letting you know, hey, she posted this on her Facebook or whatever, and it's a picture of my face like scribbled out in a picture with me and her together, and then people are commenting like, "Girl, I screamed," and all that stuff, right? And it's like, or then again like doing things to ruin your reputation while you thinking you guys are trying to um, build something that is beneficial on behalf of the child that you have in common. This person's meanwhile is Machiavellian in their attempts to ruin you, and so that's what this lady was doing with this guy. So just like some musings, I found that interesting. That same thing happened to me too, dealing with this person. And again, I'm not trying to label my ex a narcissist, but I am saying that there were some narcissistic things that were there. I read somewhere that like we all have narcissistic tendencies, depending on the situation and like what it is that we're doing. And so I recognize that I may have very well had some narcissistic things going on with me too. Um, but thank God for His redeeming blood, and thank God for His work in my heart and in my mind. But I do find that interesting that that's something that I shared in common with this person, or even like the breadcrumbing where this person will lead you on, and like, or even within the relationship, they sort of starve you and make you vie for their affection, and so they kind of leave little breadcrumbs, or like they'll withhold affection, they'll withhold certain things or things that they used to say or they used to do or whatever. Now they're not doing as much anymore, or and you feel like you're trying to chase after them constantly for like affection or for love, and for validation within the relationship. And again, they do things like flirt with people in front of you, or and it's like you try to put them on a pedestal, and you get into a position where you like idol worship this person. But anyway, I said a little bit of that in the last video too, but I just found that interesting. I'm sorry for rambling, y'all. I'm just having some musings, but some late night musings. But I pray everybody's doing well. I pray that everybody's being prayed up, and y'all are reading the word, and worshiping with members of the body of Christ in some capacity, whether that be by going to church or having like a Bible study group. Me myself, I have a Christian men's group that I meet with online every Tuesday, and it's fantastic. And if there are any fellas out there who would like to join, listening to these videos, let me know. I mean, hit me up. Um, leave a comment saying, hey, I'd like to connect, and definitely will plug you into the group. And all we do, I like to joke and say we're sort of like a men's book club. It's like we're like a men's book club. And like we get these books written by pastors and stuff like that, and it's all biblically sound and stuff like that. And we dissect and discuss, these books that are written for practical purposes, to apply things through a biblical lens to our own personal lives. And I am not a complete work by any stretch of the imagination. I still have stuff God is working with me on. I have tons of things that God is like still pricking out of my heart, pricking out of my mind. But I lean on Him, and I look to Him for everything now. And I think that's very beneficial for me from a mental health standpoint, from an emotional standpoint. I don't look to anybody else except for God. That's all I look towards. And if there's anybody out there that's struggling with mental health, that's struggling with feeling invalidated, feeling like you don't belong on this earth, look to God, please. Run to Him, look to Him, pray to Him. He will definitely come find you. Definitely come find you. But you just gotta go to Him. Just go to Him. So I'm hoping this encourages someone. Sorry for rambling. God bless everyone. I pray all is well. Take care until the next time. Bye.